All right, Buttercups, it's Urshi, your Ayurvedic health counselor here at Wellness Wave Creations. And today is the summer solstice. It is a lovely energy. We just actually entered the energetics of Cancer, and I'm kind of feeling that myself. And I wanted to talk to you guys today, and I've got some notes. I always have some notes. I'm a kind of nerdy girl. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about energy. I know that this word is used in many different contexts, and lately much more so than ever before. So, what is energy? Electrical charge, its frequency, its vibration. I was speaking to a few ladies yesterday, they're colleague healers, and we were talking about frequency, and this one lady said, so okay, what are you doing with sound? And I said, I don't really do the sound thing, unless of course using the vibration of my voice and my throat chakra. But in my healing practice, I'm mostly focusing on frequency as in energetic chords, as in electromagnetic vibration that is a part of every human being. So every human being is comprised of three bodies. The physical body is the actual lowest density of the three bodies. It is really the most physical, obviously, most tangible, most perceivable out of the three bodies. And what feeds the physical body is food. Food is the nourishment of the physical body, and of course, water. But what happens with the actual subtle body, or we call it astral body, or we also call it the emotional body, and that might be much more actually tangible for all of you. The subtle body, firstly of all, each body has a different density. So this is why the subtle body, or even the third karmic body, are really concepts that most people can't really grasp. Right? Because it's subtle. It's super subtle. But if you really think about it, those different densities obviously cannot show up in the same form. So the physical body, being in the physical form, is the last of the three that actually picks up on that very vibration that you're carrying in your emotional body, where we store all of our thoughts and emotions. We also call this space the mind. The mind is not just in the brain. It is actually a field of some sort of a universal intelligence. And it's connecting to a yet more subtle body, the karma body. We also call it the causal body, and it's got a massive amount of significance, and I will tell you why, especially in light of that my educational bits and pieces this summer will be building up to September, when I'm going to be releasing this amazing masterclass I have been working on for you guys about inherited diseases and how to clear that out of your lineage. Isn't it just mesmerizing? All right, so the physical body needs food to survive. So that's what really the food supplies the body with the 5 elements, that we require in our field: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And yes, it is not just the physical body that's made up of these 5 elements, but anything and everything in the universe holds these elements in them that's live, that's alive. So we're talking about human beings, we're talking about all live creatures, animals, and all the plants. Within the subtle body, okay, so imagine this as it's surrounding you. Your aura also is another word that you might be familiar with. So there is an energetic template. And that energetic template of the nervous system, which is really responsible for the flow of energy through that system, and this subtle nervous system consists of two big things that you also often hear of: chakras, or energetic wheels. They're like storehouses of energy, and nadis. Imagine the nadis like your blood vessel, but for energy. So they're subtle energetic vessels that are running right through your system. As one of my wonderful professors from college times said, Dr. Rao, if you ever see this video, I'm so ever grateful for you and all of your wisdom and all of your teachings. When he joked with us one day about the 70-some thousand nadis that we have in our system and in our subtle nervous system. And in relation to that, I'd like to actually bring your attention to two main nadis, which is your fire line, Pingala, and your water line, which is called Ida. And so those two lines I very often work with in my frequency healing space when I am actually having you in my studio under my hands, so to speak, as well as remotely. We're able to work on these lines with a variety of techniques. One of them, just one out of the many, is the pranayama exercises, so breath work. Super important, as the physical body and the mind are connected by two major channels. One is the food channel that you already know of, and the other one is the breath channel. We'll talk about these in more detail another time, but I just wanted to mention about them right now so that you kind of start connecting these dots. So as the food for the physical body, thoughts and deeper unconscious processes are the sustenance to the astral body or emotional body or to the mind. While karma, now this is another big thing. What is karma and why are you all so afraid of it? Karma simply means cause and effect. You need to understand that also from more of a quantum physics perspective. So whatever you put out, there is an energetic consequence to it. So everything, all of what we do, what we say, how we act, brings a certain energetic consequence with it. So karma can be really super awesome. You want good karma. Just imagine it like a boomerang, right? Whatever you throw out will come back. And that is true for all of it. It is actually based on the laws of nature. It is based on universal laws. All right, so you guys, let's go back to karma. The karmic body is the subtlest vibration. So I'm talking about vibration. Do you hear it? No. So we're not talking about sound vibration. When you're talking about sound, I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite sound and vibration frequency fellow and healer colleague, if you will. And he will talk to you guys about more of the sound and vibration, and of course all the chakras and all the points. I call them points sometimes. All the chakras also are resonating at a certain vibration, a certain vibrational level or frequency, which can be associated with sound, and it is associated with sound, and each and every chakra has its own sound. Just like I'm sure that all of you have heard about do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Well, I haven't done this a long time anyways, but all of the sounds, right? All of the musical notes also are connecting to the chakras. You'd be surprised how all of this is connected. So the karmic body is the subtlest vibration, so you really don't sense it. It is really something where you need to pay attention. And in order to pay attention, guys, you need silence. You need to get away from the hustle bustle. You need to get away from the noise. It doesn't matter what kind of noise that is. It actually, in this particular case, it could be even just the best of music. Sometimes you got to get away from it all and reduce the impressions at your five senses: hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Okay, so you want to reduce the impressions, which is why it is so beneficial when we go away to some quiet place, to the cabin, to the forests, to the beach for a nice walk on our own sometimes, right? So reducing the senses is going to give you more ethereal space, more space, I should say, where you'll be able to hear even more. So you know, the people that are very connected to nature, especially if you actually think of the Aboriginal people and how connected they are or they were with nature. And that is because they listened to the sounds of nature. They understood the forests. They understood the land. They understood the skies. They watched, observed, and therefore actually heard differently at a much higher level than what we do here in this current noisy world. So I want to talk to you guys about the origin of disease. And so what I want you to really grasp in your mind, that all disease has its origin in the karma body. It manifests into the actual astral body, which is our emotional body, as in disturbances in the mind. And it comes in through prana, which I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with, tejas, which we'll talk about another time, but for short, it's fire in the mind. And then ojas, which we will also talk about separately. It's water and earth energetics, kind of subtly in the mind. It's almost like mental stability. So eventually the imbalances that are present in the mind or in the emotional body, or in other words, the astral body, will trickle down to the physical body. And it causes disturbances there through what we know the doshas in Ayurvedic medicine. So if any of you have been familiar with any Ayurvedic energetics, their physiological energies or physiological, biological energy forces, and we group them into three. One is Vata, which is air and ether energetics. One is called Pitta, which is mostly fire energy. And then Kapha, which is water and earth energies together. Okay? Imagine like one of these buckets in your hand on the beach full of wet sand, and you want it that perfect texture that makes the perfect sandcastle. That's the kind of energetics I'm talking about. So when all of these trickling downs happen into the physical body is the last one out of the three that observe these vibrational messages. So now if you're going to really start thinking backwards or outward, physical body to the emotional body to the karma body, then you can only imagine how much we're capable of if we're able to move these three bodies together and in harmony and in the proper sequence with one another, in tandem, never separately, but together in harmony and in tandem, how much we can do with inherited diseases. So I invite you to follow me here on YouTube under Wellness Wave Creations on this channel. On Facebook, I'm still on Facebook, you guys, yes, with my business page under Wellness Wave Creations, so same name. Follow me along on these two main platforms where I am operating, and listen in to the bits, pieces, hacks, and good tips and ideas that will all connect and build up to this major first huge masterclass piece I have been working on for you and for the collective consciousness, so that you learn how you can take charge and how epigenetics actually is on your side at the rate of 90% over the 10% genetics, and how you can actually clear these karma messages and imprints, or in other words, inherited diseases out of your field, out of your lineage. Wouldn't it be just something else? So thank you so much for tuning in today. Soon we're marching into full moon on July the 3rd in Capricorn, which is gonna be marking a very important point, halfway of the year evaluation and course correction. See what you've achieved so far and where you want to go and what you'd like to achieve for the rest of the year. A lot's going to be happening energetically in the world and in the universe. It's been Urshi, your Ayurvedic health counselor. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely day.